It's a horrible demon. He set up a spike trap above the bar. The spikes are rapidly passing over people's heads. The bar was a living hell. Those who survived just wanted to escape, but they accidentally triggered the trap. They were terrified. He puts them in a small space with the steel doors, and then drops a 10-ton steel plate. Chase saw his best friend trapped inside. Although she was very anxious, she could only watch her girlfriends being crushed into meat. And that's when the devil set his sights on Chase. Chase ran away in fear, but fell. In the middle of it, she saw a surviving man trying to escape through a window, but that's when the demon grabbed Chase. Although Arkin tried to save her, he knew he couldn't fight the demon, so he jumped off the building with the body in his arms. He used the cushion to survive. Arkin got up and ran, but Chase was in trouble. The demon locked her up and drove her away. Arkin made it to the hospital. After a few days, he was almost back to normal. Then a man handed out a photo and asked Arkin if he'd seen this girl before. Arkin recognized her as the girl the demon had taken. After talking, they found out that Chase was the daughter of a rich man. The man was the rich man's paid helper. He came here to ask Arkin to find the demon's lair and rescue the rich man's daughter. Arkin reluctantly agreed. They gathered a number of skilled mercenaries. Meanwhile, Chase was huddled in a cardboard box. She quietly pokes a hole in the cardboard box, only to see the demon cutting out a man's tongue. Chase was terrified. She was afraid she'd be next, so she made an improvised tool out of a shirt button and opened the latch through the hole. Just as she was about to leave, the demon came. Scared, Chase hid in the corner. The devil is looking for a woman, and he releases poisonous spiders. In order to survive, Chase dared not make a sound, even though the spiders were crawling all over her body. After the demon left, Chase crawled out from the corner. That's when rescue Chase's men arrived at the devil's house, but their every move has been seen by the cunning demon. The men were searching the house. A soldier was suddenly struck down by the demon, and they didn't even realize it. They came to a secret room. A man covered in blood begged for help. They went to check it out, but they were caught in a trap, and another member of the team died in the demon's trap. Arkin decided that the mercenaries were no match for the demon, so he tried to escape. On the other hand, Chase rescued a girl on his way out. They ran away together, but the girl suddenly screamed and attracted the demon. Chase had to run away alone. The girl crouched on the ground and held her head, but the demon didn't hurt her and went after Chase. Finally, Chase went through a ventilation duct and came to a room with a window. There were two men cooking a barbecue outside. Chase screamed for help, but they couldn't hear him. On the other side, Arkin was thinking about how to escape. The next moment, he was knocked to the ground by the butt of a gun. At that moment, the devil has crept up on them. He threw the hook and hit one of them, then jumped down the rope. The mercenaries couldn't withstand the devil's fierce attack. They had to flee in a panic, but the entrance they came in through has been welded shut by the demon. Then the girl Chase saved suddenly appeared. The girl said she knew where Chase was. Arkin followed the woman's lead and finally found Chase. The two men barbecuing outside the window hadn't left yet, so Arkin shot the man in the leg. Soon after, his companion attracted the police. Arkin fired another shot at the police outside to get attention. All she had to do now was wait for the police to come in and she was saved. But the girl Chase saved suddenly locked Arkin and others inside the room. It turns out that she's working with the demon, and she lured them here to trap them. Angry woman hits the girl with a roundhouse. She accidentally triggered the mechanism, and she was instantly cut into pieces. Lights suddenly went out and the demon appeared with a shotgun. Two wolf dogs took the lead and the demon pulled the trigger. In the end, Arkin and his men were injured and fell to the ground. All they could do was watch as the demon grabbed Chase again, and the man accidentally triggered the mechanism. The steel spike on his head could kill him at any moment, but in order to save Chase, he asked Arkin to go to rescue Chase first. Soon, they found Chase tied up on the operating table, but it's another trap set by the devil. The cage fell and the three were trapped inside. Arkin growled angrily and verbally abused him, but the demon took a lighter and lit a fuse, and next to them were barrels of gasoline. If they exploded, the consequences would be disastrous. In the heat of the moment, Arkin broke his cast and he released his broken hand. Then Chase kicks him and bends his arm 90 degrees. Finally, he touches the cage switch and opens the cage. Then he simply repositioned the arm. By now, the police have surrounded the outside. Knowing that there was no escape, the demon was ready to die together. He poured gasoline all over the house. The three who escaped followed the ropes to the floor, but the demon suddenly appeared, and the woman behind them was unfortunately attacked. The wounded Arkin was no match for the demon, but at the critical moment, the man suddenly arrived. But in the end, the man was defeated. Unfortunately, he was hit by the demon in the vitals, but then Arkin picked up his knife and attacked the demon. He threw the demon into an elevator full of bodies, and then he ended his life with a fire. At this time, the police outside also managed to open the iron door. At this moment, the two men were finally rescued.